Welcome to game night. On my most recent or two Saturday night stories ago, I talked about Ticket to Ride, the board game, and I heard that a lot of people like that game a lot. And there were some questions about what my favorite board game is, and I thought it would be easiest just to show you. I know I've talked with one person about board games, at least one person, two people actually, about board games recently, and it inspired me to quietly play a board game for you guys. So I'm going to do my best to stay quiet and show you the ropes of one of my favorite games. You'll notice it is daytime and suddenly spring here, so you might hear a lot of birds and cats that like birds. Okay, so my favorite board game is Clue. It's a really easy game. Some board game aficionados might think it's a little bit too simple. Not a fun game, you'd say. I've been playing this game for a long time, and sometime in my adolescence I thought I should draw all over the board. Or the box, rather. I'd be pretty upset if I drew all over the board. So here's what the game board looks like. Holding it upside down for you. It's a floor plan of a mansion. Americans will know that this board game also turned into a couple movies, some books, quite a few books actually, and yeah, they're all really hokey and cheesy. The premise of the game is that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people invited to this house. It's a house owned by million billionaire Mr. Body. That's his name. I don't know why. And he has a couple trusted friends that he invites to a house, and every single time they come to the house, he ends up dead. And so your job as the detective is to figure out who killed Mr. Body. Kind of simple, right? The books were really funny because there were multiple books, and every time he died. And sometimes I feel like they were in different locations. Like he had a ski, like a ski house and like a beach house. So anyway, Mr. Body's totally cool, and I know everyone wants to be his friend. I do, that's for sure. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different rooms. These 9 rooms are all possible places the murder happened. You have to figure out where it happened. There are a couple other special things about the board. The corners of the board can be used as a secret passage. So this room is the conservatory, and you can take the secret passage to the lounge. The lounge is all the way in the opposite corner. So you can travel a lot on the board. Like I said before, it's a detective game, and so your goal is to make, point the finger at certain people with certain items in certain rooms. But to be able to reference the room, you have to be in the room. So to say that the murder was committed in the conservatory, you have to go to the conservatory. So that's important. There are a couple ways you can play. We always used to cheat and say that if someone made an accusation about your character, you don't have to go to the room, but I believe in the rules you have to go to the room. So if I said Mrs. White in the kitchen, Mrs. White would have to go to the kitchen. And you don't have to move across the board, like your character just ends up in there, which can be really frustrating if you know what happened in the billiard room and you're on your way, but someone keeps calling you back to the lounge. I suppose you could play diversionary tactics like that or something. So, more about the actual board game. Here are some rules. These are the alternative language rules. Spanish and French and etc. Rules are built straight onto the box. The difference is you can make a suggestion every turn on who committed the murder and by what means. And the person to your left gets to show you one clue of their cards, and then you figure it out from there. I'm going to pull out some more of the pieces just to show you guys. First thing I grabbed was the case file, confidential, little manila envelope. This holds all of the facts of the case. So whoever committed the murder, their information is going to be in this little folder. We've got your little, it's supposed to be a notebook. You're supposed to fold it in half. And it's supposed to look like a little notepad that you've been figuring things out on. And what this notepad has on it is all of the suspects, all of the weapons, and all of the rooms. You're going to have a set of clues, and so you're going to be able to eliminate certain people, places, weapons just based on your clues. So you've got this quintessential piece of information. You could also cheat by just peeking at your friends. Don't do that. Next up, we have the game cards. The game cards list all of the weapons, all of the characters, and all of the places. I need to quickly separate these because we have to randomize the cards and then choose the cards that will determine where the murder happens. We have little pawn pieces. They just remind me of little sorry pieces or something. So the red is Miss Scarlet. The green is Mr. Green. The yellow is Colonel Mustard. The purple is Professor Plum. The blue is Mrs. Peacock. And the white is Mrs. White. They all had backstories. Like Miss Scarlet was like the single spinster. She was like supposed to be the hot one. Mr. Green is like surly and kind of a bastard. I feel like he's like a tightwad or something. Colonel Mustard is like an old war hero. Professor Plum is obviously a professor. Mrs. Peacock she's just like a wealthy old lady, I think. And Mrs. White is the maid. She kind of got the short end of the stick. Here's the dice. It determines how far you move on the board. And then, finally, we've got the little weapons. Little weapon replicas. Got the wrench. Got the candlestick. Got the knife. We've got the rope. And we've got the revolver. Okay. So that's all the pieces you need for the game. I realize now that I don't have a pen or a pencil. So one second. Pen in the pantry. Alright. First things first, you need to mix up the cards. I'm going to have you pick one. Okay. Now, I'm going to mix up the weapons. Again. Okay. And mix up all of the places. There's a lot of places. Okay. So now what happens is you mix up all of the cards together and everybody gets, you just like pass them around until they all go away. Oops, sorry. There's no quiet way to shuffle, so I'm just going to cheat it a little. I'm going to shuffle some cards around. Since the way the board is oriented, I'm going to be Professor Plum, and you get to be Miss Scarlet. Just right there. The rest of the characters need to just sit on the side, and we'll move them based on any accusations we make. Okay. Let's pretend there's 3 of us. Okay. So these cards would be player number 3's clues. These cards are your clues. These cards are my clues. And the 3 that we chose before, they are confidential. And it's supposed to sit right here. I think the body is discovered on the stairs, and that's why the confidential case file goes on the stairs. Yeah? Okay. So what you do upon receiving your cards is you look at all of the things that you have, and then you mark them down. And since we're playing together and the refrigerator is running, I'm going to tell you what they are. Okay. So the first card I have is the billiard room. So let's mark it down. Billiard room. Okay. The next one is the candlestick. So we know it didn't happen with the candlestick. The next one I have is Professor Plum. That's me. I did not commit the murder. Look at that. Go, Scott. Next one I have, the lounge. I would assume it would be in the library or something, but it's the lounge. Next card I have is Miss Scarlet. It's you. So you didn't commit the murder either. Which, good news for you. Okay, and the last card I have is the knife. Alright. So this is how the card looks right now. We know 2 people didn't do it, 2 weapons were not used, and 2 rooms were not accessed to commit the murder. I'm going to roll, and we are going to get moving. Alright? There's really no quiet place to roll, so I apologize if this is loud. I rolled a 2. That was not helpful. I'm gonna roll for you. You rolled a 1. It's going well so far. I rolled a 5. Now we always used to play that if you landed on the tile in front of the door, it counted as going in the door. So I'm going in the door. So this is the study. Now, you might as well make a suggestion on your first turn no matter what. You have nothing to lose by making a suggestion. Your person to your left is going to show you 1 card from your suggestion. If they don't have anything, it goes to the next person to your left. And so on and so forth until no one can help you. Now, just because no one can help you doesn't mean that you figured it out. Sometimes you go into a room even though you know the murder didn't get committed in there, just so you can be guaranteed more information about the weapon or the suspect. Make sense? I thought so. Alright, so we're in the study. I'm gonna suggest that Mr. Green did it. So we're gonna bring him over to the study. And I'm going to suggest that he used the rope, because the rope is kind of chintzy and I just want to get it over with in the study. So the first person I would ask is you. And you would look through your cards and pick one that helps me. You want to help me, I guess. And so, going to give me the card Mr. Green. Alright. Cards are still secret. So, I can mark off Mr. Green. Okay. I know more about this case already. Okay. Here's the dice. It's your turn. So nothing happens really after you make your suggestion. You just learn more. You use your poker face, try and, feel it out. Feel everyone else out. Alright, you rolled a 3. It's not helping you. I'm going to use my rolling turn to go across to the kitchen. And while I'm in the kitchen, might as well make a suggestion. Okay, I'm going to suggest that Colonel Mustard did it in the kitchen with the lead pipe. So, there's the little guys with the lead pipe. Alright, since you're on my left, you get to help me out here. Got anything that'll help me? Yeah, okay. Excellent. So now we know another suspect. Colonel Mustard. Alright, so we'll mark it down. If you've been following around, there are 6 suspects. You know I have 2. You had 2 at least 2. That means there's only 2 other possible people it could be. Alright? Formulating any ideas? I know I am. Clear the board, and it's your turn. Hopefully you make it to a room. Sound good? Alright, you rolled a 2. That does not help you. You're 1 space away from being in the lounge, though. Or you could try and go to the dining room. I don't know. You can elect to stay in the room you're in and just make another suggestion if that's what you really want to do. I don't want to do that, though. I would like to move on. So I am going to roll. I rolled a 2. How unhelpful. And when you leave the room, that first space, it counts. Rules. You rolled a 2 as well, and you've made it to the lounge, which is awesome for you. Okay, so would you like to make a suggestion while you're in the lounge? You would. Okay. You wanna give me some clues on what you think it would be? We'll use player 3's cards. All right. Who are you saying? You're saying Professor Plum. Okay. With the wrench in the lounge. Okay. Player 3 can help you. Got this secret information here. It's the wrench. Secret. Usually this game has a little fun like, this is what it is. Secrets are fun. Alright. I don't get to mark anything down because I did not know that happened. Alright. Here I am outside of the kitchen. It's my turn to roll. I rolled a 3. I'm so close to the ballroom. It's your turn again. Oh, did you actually want to go to the... okay. You're going to the conservatory. Miss Scarlet, now that you're in the conservatory, would you like to make a suggestion? Yeah? Alright. What's your suggestion? Your suggestion is yourself, Miss Scarlet. Okay. With what weapon? The lead pipe. Alright. In the conservatory. Let's consult player 3. Player 3 can't help you. Alright. So now it falls to me to help you. And you said Miss Scarlet with the lead pipe in the conservatory. I can help you. Did you see it? Okay. Alright. It's my turn. I'm going to clear the board first. Take that lead pipe out of there. Time to roll. I rolled 3. And I'm in the ballroom. Alright, now that I'm in the ballroom, I'm going to say Mrs. Peacock with the rope in the ballroom. Okay? Oh, gotta bring all the people in. Mrs. Peacock with the rope in the ballroom. Can you help me? I think you can. It's the rope. Okay. Learning more about the weapon helps a lot. It is the rope. Okay. Next up, you. Do you want to go back to the lounge or do you want to move on? Okay. You rolled a 1. But you're on your way to the ballroom. At least that's what I would guess. My turn. Rolled a 5. And I can make it to the billiard room. I'm in. Inside the billiard room, I'm going to suggest that Mrs. Peacock with the wrench in the billiard room. Can you help me? Do we have anything that'll help? I don't think so. Alright, it doesn't look like you can help me. Uh-oh. Might be getting closer to a solution here. Player left, player right, really, has these cards. And interestingly enough, I said, Mrs. Peacock. Now I know. I forgot to put the characters in. I'm so bad at that. That's usually like somebody else's job. Alright. But I found out it was not Mrs. Peacock. Which, if you're playing at home, you know who it is. You know who committed the murder. You get to put the little satisfying circle on the page. But just because we know who committed the murder doesn't mean we know by what means and in what room. And you need all 3 to win. Oh, and by the way, if you make an accusation, which is like your final answer, and it's wrong, you lose, and you get to stay out of the game forever. Many childhoods have been ruined by making false accusations. Just saying. Alright. The dice. Yes, right there. You rolled a 1 last turn. This turn you rolled a 2. I gotta say, you should probably get better at rolling. Just saying. I rolled a 4, and I'm going to the library. Sorry, the clock is 7 o'clock. In the library, I'm gonna make a suggestion, and I'm not going to use somebody that I know is the murderer, because I want to get more information about the weapons. Okay? So I'm going to say that it is Colonel Mustard with the revolver in the library. Can you help me? Colonel Mustard with the revolver in the library. I have made a folly, and you would show me this, Colonel Mustard, and that would be a waste of a turn. I'm a terrible player, but we're not playing by those rules. Do you think the odds are stacked? Maybe. Alright. We have more information in this hand. I see something that's going to help. Player right shows me this. Good information. It's the revolver. Okay. I still don't know very much about the room, but we're getting closer to knowing the weapon, which is good. It's helpful. Okay, time for you to roll. You've rolled a 6, which is great. I think it's time to go to the billiard room. So you're in the billiard room, and you're making a suggestion, and your suggestion is Mrs. Peacock, okay, with the wrench, all right, in the billiard room. Right. The player on your left is gonna help you out. By showing you this. That's something that I don't know though. It's a secret. Okay. The dice. I keep losing it, but it's right here. 5. Where can I make it in 5? To the billiard room. I'm going back. Alright. I am going to suggest Miss Scarlet, which means you have to stay in the billiard room. Actually, it doesn't affect you at all, because you're already there. With the wrench in the billiard room. First it goes to you. And you can't help me. Not at all. Now it goes to this player. And he can help me. It's the wrench. Okay. That means I know the weapon. Alright. I just need to figure out where it happened. Actually, I think I've stumbled upon where it happened. Just kidding. No, I haven't. Terrible. Okay. It's your turn. And you've rolled a 4, which means you're going to the library. In the library, you're suggesting Mrs. Peacock with the lead pipe in the library. Goes over to player 3. And player 3 can help. Library. Okay. I'm going to mark it down because I'm a cheater. Cheating is bad. Alright, my turn. I've rolled a 5. And the 5 is going to take me to the ballroom again. I need to shore up some information about the ballroom. I'm going to call Miss Scarlet again. I'm doing this because I need more information. I'm going to bring the lead pipe because I need more information. In the ballroom. Can you help me? Nope. Can player 3 help me? Yes. Yes, he can. Ballroom. Okay. So now I know that did not happen in the ballroom. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more places it could have possibly happened. And I don't have information on the kitchen or the conservatory. So I should go in either of those directions. But first, it's your turn, and you are in the ballroom as well. And you rolled a 3, which is great. To the conservatory with you. Alright. So you're saying yourself with the revolver in the conservatory. And conservatory. Okay. That's great. It's my turn, and I need to roll a 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to roll 6 to get into the ballroom, or to get into the kitchen rather. I rolled 5. How helpful. Alright, from the conservatory, you're headed to the lounge, right? Actually, no. You're not heading to the lounge. You're going back to the ballroom. Inside the ballroom, you already know that didn't happen there. So you're just going to leave it be. No suggestion this time. When I've rolled myself into the kitchen, I'm going to say, it's Mrs. White with the lead pipe in the kitchen. Can you help me? Nope. Can't help me. Can you help me? Yes. It's the kitchen. Okay. Good to know. I have 3 places left it could possibly be. It might be the hall, it might be the dining room, or it might be the study. I think it's your turn. And you rolled a 5, which is great. You're heading towards the dining room. And you're 1 space away from the dining room. Meanwhile, I'm headed to the study through the secret passageway. I'm not really sure why it makes it much faster because the distance is the same, but whatever. This is like a quantum secret passage. So you don't actually have to spend the time walking, it's just teleportation. Okay. In here, I'm going to say Mrs. White with the lead pipe in the study. Let's see if you can help. Oh, you can. Provided me with the information that it is in fact the study. Okay, good to know. It is your turn in the dining room. And you're in there. You rolled a 2, by the way. Alright. You've caught wise on my suggestions here. And you're also saying Mrs. White with the lead pipe in the dining room. Okay. Let's see. Player 3 can help. No. Can I help you? No. So now you know, based on your own cards, whether or not the dining room is truly the place that the murder happened. And with my turn, I need 10 spaces to get to the dining room. I'm going to make it happen through the power of rolling a 4. But it's your turn and you figured it out. So, are you ready to make your accusation? Yeah. All right. And it is exactly how you want it on the board. Mrs. White with the lead pipe in the dining room. Okay. Well, once you accuse it, I can't take back looking at the cards. Okay. Mrs. White with the lead pipe in the dining room. Good job. Can't believe I didn't win. It's my own video. Anyway, so that's Clue. It's really fun when you're playing with a bunch of people. You can play with up to 6 people and you only have, I think, 3 clues to start out with. So you have to get to a lot of places and you have to make a lot of suggestions. So it is fun with a big group. I always played this game growing up, and I have kind of a small family. It's just me, my brother, my parents. So we never got to play a full game. So I definitely want to. So I'm just going to quickly put this away. And thank you for sitting here and playing Clue with me. It's very fun. My favorite game. And so, yeah, that's about all. I'd be interested to know if, what everyone else's favorite game is, especially because when I was asked, I was talking with a girl in the Czech Republic, and she was saying she'd never heard of Clue before, and I was like, what? Clue's awesome. So I'd be interested to know what everyone else's favorite game is. And if you haven't seen Clue, I think there's actually an iPhone app, like a game version of the iPhone app, or iPhone game app, and I bought it over a year ago, and it was pretty hokey back, because it was one of those like find the clue, and it like is just a little portion of the screen that you have to click, and but it was still kind of fun anyway. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you around. Bye.